Thank you for tuning in. This video is going to be about the life cycle of my spaghetti squash from the beginning to end and all the mistakes I made with this plant. So keep watching. Here is my spaghetti. I think it's spaghetti squash. I'm not sure. I have to look at the tag in a little bit. And I'm getting some spaghetti squash. I'm not sure if it's being pollinated, so I'm gonna have to pollinate myself. Yeah, it's real sunny right now, so I'm out of the sun, so let me see if you can see it a little better. That's a spaghetti squash. So it looks like it's doing pretty good. I should have left that green netting around my plant because it was helping it. When I took it down, that's when I started having all my problems. So with this spaghetti squash. Okay, this is my plant, zucchini, eggplant. What I'm going to do is replant this plant in this 17-inch gallon container. I got it in a 5-gallon container, and I think it was just a way too small. I'm getting a little spaghetti squash on them now, and I know this is a real bad time. If you can see, I'll try. This is a bad time to replant. Yes, you are. You're helping me. This is a bad time to replant, but I'm going to do it, and hopefully it doesn't kill all my fruit. So stay tuned. I'm gonna have to do this off the camera because right now I don't have anybody to help me hold the camera while I transplant.
I can hold it.
You can hold it?
Yeah. I'm not holding it.
Okay. Come on, let's see. Okay, stay tuned. You see a little red thing? Say, okay, that's recording. Okay, you see the plant?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is how I'm doing it. So I'm gonna replant this tree.
What?
Here, are you taping it? The tree? Well, I'm gonna plant in this big one right here. Right now, my 5-year-old niece got the camera. She's playing camera right now. And she's gonna take a picture of what I'm doing. Okay. Hold this straight. There you go. You're doing real good. Now, let's see. This is hard for me because I really don't want to kill my plant. I really don't. But it's not being... I don't know what to do. here. There's zucchini right in here, right there, and there's zucchini down up in here, and here's another one starting. But I'm constantly having to kill off leaves, I think, because it's not big enough. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't want to kill my zucchini, but I'd rather for it to be comfortable in a bigger container than... Okay, I'm new to gardening, so I've been having a real problem with this spaghetti squash plant. I've been having a really bad ant problem, and I've been spraying them off with water, but I think spraying them with water really messed up the leaves. The leaves are yellow, and I have to constantly cut the leaves off. Right here, I just cut the leaves and not the whole branch. I've been cutting the whole branch, but this time I just left that on. And as you can see, I've been losing spaghetti squash. It's just been rotting on the tree. And I'm thinking because I've been spraying it with water, and that's why I'm losing it. So I'm gonna go to neem oil, and here another leaf is on the ground. So I'm gonna start doing neem oil on this plant, and I'll let you know. It's growing up pretty good. It's growing up high up. And I got 2 tomato trellis on it. I just connected them with my mind is going blank, but these little wires here. And it didn't really make it straight. And one thing I think I did wrong is growing it in a 5-gallon Lowe's bucket. I should have, this is like one of the first plants I bought. So, and I just had this crate, this 5-gallon with me. So I used it, but I should have used this gallon right here. This gallon is I think this is a 17 or 17 gallon bucket. And as you can see, I'm getting a little bit of, this is bell pepper. I'm getting a little bit of pepper on here. And you can see another flower off in here. These are doing pretty good. At first I had problem with it because the soil that I used, it kind of smelled like sulfur. So I just kept watering it and soaking it in, and the smell went away. But this one right here, I really would like to taste this spaghetti squash. I have one in there, and I hope that survives. And one thing that I did that people were saying is you have to pollinate it yourself. But I found out that every time I pollinate myself, spaghetti squash dies. So now I'm not going to do anything else to this plant. I'm just going to give it neem oil and constantly cut off the branches that need to be cut off. So stay tuned, but you can see that the flowers, the male flowers, are just really blooming. So overall, I think the plant is fine. Besides needing to be in a bigger pot, it's okay. Hopefully I get at least one spaghetti squash out of this plant. I hope I do. So this one, it's bigger than all the other ones. And I have a big problem. Ants seem to love this plant. Oh, I used the soap scrub that killed some of them right on spot, but it didn't kill the problem. So I'm going to try neem oil and put neem oil on some of the dirt too. Oh, another thing I think I did kind of wrong is I did fill this up, but not to the top. They said you always fill like an inch or two, so for mulching. But when you add water, sometimes the soil kind of, I don't know if subsides is the right word, but it leaves the pot. So, yeah. And these little clips are here just to straighten it up. It was just still leaning, so I couldn't get it to straighten up. So the clips on the side helped it to just stay straight. So let me get busy, and I'm going to cut all of this grass right here. I'm thinking about growing something on the side of the fence. I don't know yet, but I think I'm gonna grow something that draws bees, so I won't have to keep pollinating and messing up my spaghetti squash. So last night I was really concerned about my only spaghetti squash. I did not pollinate it by myself. It obviously, I guess it was pollinated by the bees, which I hardly ever see any around here. And this is the biggest that I've ever saw. This is the biggest that I've saw, my first squash that grew this big. There's another one right behind these leaves here. And I'm not going to do anything to it. Yesterday when I just sprayed the leaves, the ants seem to have dissipated. And there you have it. My first squash that survived, I should say. Sometime later, I finally got my first harvest, my spaghetti squash. And also my Japanese eggplant and my cherry tomatoes. Here is my spaghetti squash. We got one squash. It seems like when one gets done, another one come up. So this is when I knew something definitely was wrong with my spaghetti squash, because I had to keep taking off flowers and they were dying out. The plant just did not make it. So what I did is I moved it. I tried to make it work, and I moved it to my front yard. And when I moved it out here, I put a netting around the vegetable. But I tried to do everything to make this plant live. And please don't do that. It won't work. And as you can see here, it's gone. And I put it off into a little corner, and I kept trying, but it's gone now, and I'll try to do better next time when I'm growing this fruit, excuse me, this vegetable, if I want to grow it again. I'll put it in a different pot, a bigger pot, and just take better care of it and watch it carefully.